Hey guys, Lexi here. I wanted to hop on and share about a little experience that I had today. So, we are moving most everything out of our house so we can have our floors redone. And this has been an interesting process for me, and I've had a lot of emotions I did not expect come up. And I thought I would walk you through something that I went through today and kind of show you how I walk myself through it and through the fear and then back out to feeling more balanced and in harmony again. So, a little bit earlier today, my husband and I were moving some of the furniture that we could move out of the house. And of course, there's some bigger, heavier pieces that I cannot help him move, and he cannot move by himself. And we're going to have some people come over and help us move the furniture. And I'm someone who likes to kind of plan ahead, and I do like to manage and kind of control it a bit and kind of, have my say on where the furniture goes and how it's handled and all those little details. Whereas my husband is just like, it's not a big deal. We'll just pick it up and we'll just put it down wherever. And if it gets, scratched or dent or broken, so what? Not a big deal, right? So we were talking about this, and he could feel my tension kind of rising a little bit because the last time we moved, which was about 11 years ago, some of my furniture and appliances did get dented and scratched. And I was very upset about that. I, especially back then, liked my stuff to be really nice and neat and in pristine condition. And I still like things to look nice and to be clean today. That's something I'll probably always like, is a very clean, organized house. So as he's saying this, I can feel my tension rise, and I can start to feel the overwhelm come on. And I had to sit down for a minute. And, he's looking at me like, come on, can't we just, finish this? What's going on? Why is this such a big deal? And I had to let myself feel. And what I realized was being triggered was I had the sense that I wanted to control and manage everything and do it all myself. And I started to get really upset and overwhelmed that I couldn't move the furniture all myself, so I could be careful of how it was handled, so I could, put it down gently exactly where it needed to go, and all those little details. And I'm realizing, and I'm aware of this, but the feelings still come up. It was still triggered for me. I'm aware that I have no control over this. And so I'm sitting down telling myself, okay, it's not my job to manage, and I don't want to manage or control everything. So what's going on here? So this is where I start to walk myself through, because when you get overwhelmed, when you want to control or manage something, anything, even if it's someone else's behavior, there's always a fear under there. And a lot of times the core fears it leads down to is either the fear of death, the fear of change, something changing, or the fear of being isolated from people, the fear of people not liking you and kind of ostracizing you and pushing you out. Those are some really core fears. So when I sit down and I start to feel this uprise, right, of a little bit of anxiety and overwhelm coming on, I'm like, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? Okay, the movers move the furniture. What's the worst thing that can happen? All right, well, maybe they, drop it and break something. Okay, maybe they dent up or scratch something that I can't fix. Okay, so what's so bad about that? So then I walk myself through, well, what is bad about that? Well, I like things to look really nice. I like things to look newer and cleaner, and I'm not comfortable with things being scratched and dent or broken. Okay, so what's wrong with that? What does it mean if something is scratched or dented or broken? And then I walk myself through like, well, if it's broken, then I have to fix it. It's like, is that true? Do you really have to fix it? Or if you just were willing to allow it to be broken, would something new and better come your way? Or if it was dented and scratched, what does it mean? What does it mean if something is dented and scratched? Does it really mean anything? And when it comes down to it, for me, it doesn't mean anything. But I realized that there was that old fear again that ran in our family. It was really a core family fear that if things weren't done just right and things didn't look a certain way, then something bad would happen. It was just this and we don't even know what this bad thing is, but it was just this overlying feeling always that if you don't keep things in control and looking nice and very clean, something bad's going to happen. Something's going to fall apart, and we're all going to, spin out of control, and the world's just going to be a mess. And it's an overwhelming fear. And I know a lot of people have this fear. And for me, it's not intense anymore, but sometimes it does get triggered and it's like, whoa, okay, I can see it, I can feel it. And so I sit down and I talk to myself out of it. Like, what is this fear? And it's like, oh, this is that old fear. I'm feeling like I have to get it right or something bad's going to happen. And so I let myself feel it. I let myself in my head have the experience. I imagine what would happen if something got dented or broken. And I allow that fear to come up and I allow it to be with me. And I breathe through it sometimes. Sometimes I just sit outside and I start sobbing and I just let it come. It used to be, back when it was really intense and I was first doing this, that I would actually physically shake. It was so overwhelming, the fear, I would actually shake. And now when I allow it to come up, it's gone within maybe 10, 15 seconds. And then I can breathe again and it's like, okay, that's not so bad because there is nothing bad that's going to happen. It's just this old vibration that I've made a habit that no longer serves me. And if something does get dented or scratched, I'll know what to do at that time. It may be that I don't care and I don't want to do anything about it. Or it may be that I decide to sell that piece of furniture and get something different, or repaint. Or, if something breaks, maybe I'll want to fix it and maybe I won't. Maybe I'll let someone else fix it. Maybe I won't fix it at all. Maybe it won't matter. And so it's just allowing yourself to have that unwanted experience. And that takes the resistance off it and it'll help to kind of resolve some of that overwhelm and some of that stress and panic and that wanting to manage and control. So that's a little piece of what happened today with me and how I kind of walked through it. And it's just that willingness to feel what's coming up under it. Because, if you keep trying to control and manage, you're going to cause yourself a lot of stress. And I used to be stressed all the time. That was just what I lived in. I didn't realize I was actually addicted to all the stress and the hormones and the chemicals in your body that happen when you get stressed. It took a while for me to realize that I was addicted to it and I needed to get off that roller coaster to really find my peace again. So I hope you guys find that a little bit helpful. Maybe the next time you feel this need to control and manage coming on, you can sit down and just kind of walk yourself through it. What's so bad if that happened? And get down to that core fear. And then just trust that when something does happen, if it does, you'll know what to do at that time. And you don't need to prepare. You don't need to prepare for something that you don't want to happen in the first place. Have a good day, guys. Bye.